Oh, I feel like I could talk to Lou Ransom for an hour and a half. There's so many things because you haven't been here in a while. We'll have to remedy that and get you on a regular rotation. But I want to jump now to an editorial that appeared in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette probably about 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago. I celebrated when Robert Smith spoke at the Morehouse College graduation, said he was going to pay off all of the loans for the class of 2019.
Right.
I think the country celebrated this act of philanthropy on behalf of this billionaire. Post-Gazette editorial board writes an editorial that says this was sending the wrong message to these students. What did you think when you read that editorial?
That somebody was working from the wrong side of privilege, because we're talking about people who go to school based on what their father did, money that their father gave, or their legacy, because they went to that college, their father went to that college, so they get into that college. But that privilege, they don't see that privilege, but they see somebody paying off a loan, and paying off a lot of loans. I was applauding that and saying, we need more people to do that.
Right.
Everybody says that the problem is that young people are coming out of college with too much debt.
With too much debt.
You know, and if you're going to a decent school and you come out with $150,000 in debt, well, when do you buy a house?
Right.
When do you get beyond that? You're paying that off for the next 10, 15 years.
Right.
You know, and so that's weighing you down. And here we have an effort to make sure that these very bright students who are college graduates don't have that burden on them. And somebody says, well, that's the wrong thing. You know, how is that wrong? How is that? How do you think that that is wrong? Because, well, they're not taught to fend for themselves. And then, okay, fending for themselves means that they have to pay off this debt. Say, but you probably didn't have that debt.
Right.
You know, you didn't have that debt because maybe your parents could afford for you to go to school and they could pay the way through, or you got enough grants to get through it. Say, but these people had their college paid for, and that's something that should be applauded. And, it was just nonsensical, you know, that opinion could come out. It didn't surprise me that it came out from this editorial board. I've sat on editorial boards. I've worked on editorial boards. In some places I was the editorial board. It's amazing some of the things that are coming out of there. And you get what you pay for when you're the blocks.
Let me ask you this, because one of the things that I didn't understand was, give me just a little insight into how an edit, I mean, is it like a group of people who sit around? Who writes that when it is the editorial board?
Well, if it's an unsigned editorial, then it is speaking for the newspaper. And that can be a determination from, it's not necessarily everybody sits around and says, oh yeah, this is how we feel. Someone decides that's how they feel, and they find somebody to write it. You know, and somebody writes it. There may be some input from some other people, but usually not. Every editorial board is different. Some farm things out, and some people have specialties within that editorial board. You know, but it could be, it could have been 2 or 3 people that put their heads together, but not likely.
Okay. Last question, and I don't want to run out of time. We might go a little bit longer before we hit the next commercial break. You spent time in Chicago for a long time, and even now, sometimes you can look at Chicago, end of a weekend, 15 homicides in Chicago. But at the same time, I feel like in Pittsburgh, there may not be 15 homicides in a weekend, but there's at least a shooting almost every day. Yeah,
Chicago was an anomaly because there really are so many people, and there are so many guns. Here, the difficulty is that we're such a spread out community that you start seeing some of these shootings and you say, well, you can almost pick the spots. But right now it's happening everywhere, and it's suburban, it's local, it's still happening because we still have an awful lot of guns out there, and there's still a lot of things wrong here in Pittsburgh, and so you don't have a whole lot of hope. And when you don't have hope, pulling a gun out, still doesn't make any sense. But who takes a gun to a party?
Right.
Who takes a gun to
a graduation party?
Yeah, an Airbnb.
Right.
Say, why would you take a gun there? You say, but that's the mentality, because somebody has decided that life isn't that important, and so you can take one with impunity. And I would hope that it would get better, but it's not. I mean, not as long as we still have all those guns out there.
Lou Ransom, thanks for joining us. You do have to come back because, I mean, we didn't get a chance to talk about the mom who committed suicide with the 3 kids. There are just so many other things going on in the community that we need to address.
Right.
That's a mental illness conversation.
Yeah, yes.
So we're going to get you back in a couple weeks to do that, if that's okay.
Okay.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to lighten up the mood just a little bit, and we're going to talk about a jazz boat ride scholarship. Roger Humphreys. Stick around. Don't go away.